you obviously always do look for the future. You move very quickly in the now, but you focus on the future. What is that bigger picture? You spoke about your house and maybe that investment, like a bigger place, but there must be something that's like a bucket list tick, whether that be a personal showroom, a small bespoke something in another country, I don't know, or I don't know what that could be. You must have thought about it.
Setting up a little cafe.
Yeah, so you always think about what's next, but you have to...
Because this world's not going anywhere. This is going to get bigger, better, more.
So you have to focus on the now, though. And when we get to the point, like when we built this showroom, we built it because we needed it.
Yeah.
You know, we needed it.
So you're very reactive in your decisions.
So I'm like, right. Like for instance, we've got a property in London in Knightsbridge that we can take cars.
And is that just an office, or is that
but there's also a space where someone can view a car.
Yeah.
And so if someone says, right, you know, people who live in Knightsbridge and Mayfair, they don't leave Knightsbridge.
They do the Mayfair mile.
Yeah.
And they stay within that 1 mile of Mayfair.
They do the Mayfair mile. I love that. Yeah.
Well, it's true. Like most of our friends.
Why would you? What's there?
And if I'm going somewhere else,
I know,
You know?
you go beyond the security perimeter. It's kind of like...
You start getting on the M25, like, I don't believe this.
What is this?
Other than Heathrow, that's the only reason why you go that way.
So, you know, we can tailor somebody. If someone wants to finish work late and see a car, you know, half a mile from their house, we can make that happen. And you just got to think of, okay, well, where's the next opportunity? You know, if there's an opportunity for us in another country that I see a void in the market there and think, you know what, we do well over there, we'll just act on it.
So
That's
like,
what I was just going to say, like Saudi, Dubai, somewhere.
Surely Saudi Arabia is the one, the way that there is expansion even into corporate companies and neon.
Well, I'm going there tomorrow, so
this is exciting.
I might have a quick gauge of what's there.
Pop around, yeah.
I've already, believe it or not, Googled supercar dealers in Saudi Arabia, and nothing really came up as independent dealers.
No.
Okay. So there is a little gap.
Yeah, so I'll know in 24 hours I'll be there.
Yeah. Are you watching the F1 as well?
Yeah, I'm going for the F1. Yeah.
I'm very jealous.
Wait, he's taking his painting and sticking it on the wall somewhere.
I'm just going to take so many business cards and just throw them everywhere.
just drop them on the floor randomly.
Yeah. Every urinal at the F1 is just going to have.
Actually, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Just pin them on there.
You just do the sticker thing. Just take a sticker and just every car, just pass by a car.
You know, I always carry loads of business cards on me, and I always put them in between the rubber and the window of someone's car. When I see a car,
idea,
just put it in there.
Yeah.
Because people must, obviously within certain worlds they don't, but a lot of people know you by face and by name now. Like, it must be quite nice to have that kind of like, okay, they know that you're there. Like, you've built up that reputation that takes decades to do. Like, is that a good feeling when you walk around them events?
What is strange? And obviously
you're famous in this world.
It's all down to social media, isn't it? I suppose. But it is strange when you're out somewhere, and obviously people love cars. It's a global love, isn't it? Cars, and it brings people together.
Language, religion. It doesn't matter whatever. We can all stand and appreciate something that's in front of us.
If you like cars, it doesn't matter who you're talking to, what color, age, or race, or sex you are. You got that in common, and you can talk about cars forever. And if you like cars, then you probably follow me on social media because of the cars that we have and post and sell. And then I'll be walking somewhere and my wife or my kids or whatever, and someone will stop and ask me for a picture or something. But I'm just a car dealer.
What was it like the first time it happened to you?
It was strange.
Surreal, yeah.
I was like, why? You know what?
Yeah.
What do you want my picture for?
And that's why a day in the life style vlog for you would be really cool.
Yeah, it would. But the only thing is, we've tried to do it before.
I think I actually heard on the podcast you tried to do one. You've got one filmed. But
I've got one filmed. I've done it,
feel like an idiot.
I felt like a bit cringy, really. But at the same time, because of the profile of the people I'm doing business with day in and day out, if I go to their address and it's being filmed, they don't want to be
you can't do that.
So then all of a sudden, people don't see what they really want to see.
Yeah.
They want to see me in action doing a deal with somebody and video the whole thing and not be staged. But the person, they don't want that. So it can't really be genuinely done.
Yeah.
If you see all these people out there who do a deal on film, it's very rare that will happen. Yeah. We done a show years ago called £1 Million Motors on Channel 4, and
I actually didn't know this. What was it?
It was a on Channel 4. It was called Million Pound Motors, and there was me and my dad on the program. They followed us. They basically followed us around for like 3 months.
Oh, crikey.
For 2 episodes, an hour long each episode.
Yeah.
And like it was prime time, 8:00 on like a Wednesday night, and they just couldn't get what I know they wanted to get, because I would come back to them and say, look, you can't film this.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be on
they
camera.
don't want to be on
Talking
camera.
about that then, the one thing that makes sense, or people would pay anything for your, as Kurt said, the phone book of like, your connections are global to start off with and are quite wealthy. Have you ever been in that position where you're like, actually, just being a middleman regarding business opportunities and even things that come across your desk, you must kind of have a lot of close friends and other people talking about stuff. You're in the know a lot of the times before, say, the general public would be within companies. Do you ever take the opportunity and be like, actually, that's something quite interesting, or I know that person would be very interested in that kind of opportunity?
Yeah,
like your own little, not
To invest in
entrepreneurial
other things. Yeah.
not the entrepreneurial club, but I think you always do a barbecue, don't you, where you bring your clients together.
Yeah.
I bet
Well,
that network
you know,
event's insane.
I've been involved in loads of things apart from cars. A friend of mine owned a clothing brand that he sold to Gymshark, and I kind of brokered the deal.
Yep.
For it to happen, because I knew both of them.
Yep.
I knew they're buying everything like this, but they don't know each other. And you know, when you say the contacts in the black book, it's only worth something if it's in the right hands.
Yeah, if somebody understands who's who.
But also, the car business is a small world. There's no car dealership that has a customer that only buys from them, or that's probably wrong to say they do, or other dealers don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The difference is that person likes that person, and they only want to do business with him.
Yeah.
So my little black book is full of people that everyone knows about, but they do business with me because they prefer to do business with me.
Just haven't charmed them as well as you.
Yeah,
have.
exactly. So you know, it's all about you get to a certain level, and it becomes not so much about the car, but about the experience and about trust.
Yes. Yeah.
The first time someone does business with us, they're buying the car that they want to buy.
Yeah.
And they're having the whole experience that they want to have, because we need to put our marker down from the word go, that it's the first time you've done business. This is what you get when you do business with us.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got clients that I deal with definitely on a monthly basis, like loads of clients I sell more than 12 cars a year to easily. And they just like having the banter, and they just like how we get on, and they trust me. They know if I say the car is good, it's good.
Yeah.
If I say, and there's loads of times I'll say to the client, if you're thinking you want to buy this car as an investment,
It's the wrong car.
This is the wrong car for you. It's a great car. You'll love it, but you won't earn any money out of it. It will lose money. So if you want it to use and have and lose,
That's great.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You'll love it. But if you're going to park it in the garage and you think it's going to go up, trust me, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, and they think, well, they appreciate that. Carl's just done himself out of a quick profit to save me money, but it works in the long run because they end up buying something
It's
that
longevity.
isn't earning money.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's longevity, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why these people come back to me every month.
So have
That's
you,
a good client.
have you actually sold a car for, let's say, cheaper than you wanted to because you know they're going to come back and buy a
Yeah, of
couple more
course.
cars?
You know, you always look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
The bigger picture is, you know, just let them have this deal that they want to have, and I'll have the next one.
Yeah.
You know,
Them small little wins for them is on the bigger picture.
We were talking about Tesla and stuff earlier on in the podcast and stuff, and it's just making me think, like investments. Do you like to invest in stuff?
I invest in myself.
Invest in yourself.
And
that is.
watches.
Yeah. Okay.
Watches,
Oh, so
yeah.
watches is your thing then?
Watches
is
is
that
my
your little
thing.
itch?
'Cause
Is
I
that
was just
more than the
wondering.
cars?
Yeah, I have a problem. I have a serious.
Because I know you invest in Tesla, so I was actually thinking, I was wondering, do you invest in Tesla? But
No. I don't invest in any stocks.
Yeah.
I invest in my own stock.
Because you've never.
But watches is something that I have a really deep, almost uncomfortable
Okay,
passion for.
that black book of yours probably helps with getting on the right list for watches.
Yeah,
It was
That
that little
definitely
mouth
helps.
twitch. It was like, yes, you've definitely bought some nice
Yeah,
watches
yeah,
then, and
but,
been in trouble for it.
but you know, When I tell my collectors who buy cars from me, if they buy a car, because I have customers that don't buy a car because they like the car, they buy it because they think that's undervalued. I think that's going to go up.
There's an opportunity there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So actually, that guy that brought a car in and offered you some watches as well as a thing, he nailed you. He got you. Perfect.
He won that deal.
If somebody wants to get a deal over on you, they just need the right watch.
You need the right watch.
That's a limited one, isn't it? Patek, and then
they're going straight in my pocket.
Yeah. So I tell them what's a good investment, what's not a good investment. But I always tell them, if you don't love the car, and I say this a lot.
But you're an advisor. It's you understand this world.
So how I've found my experience in investing in certain cars has been, is I have to like it. Because if I pay, let's say I pay $500,000 for a car. It's a good investment. It's only going to go up. I know that. But I don't like the car. As soon as I know that I can get a decent return on my investment, say 10%, the car's gone. Because I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I've had 10% tax-free out the car, job done. It done its job.
Yeah.
But if I love that car, you're going to need to give me more than 10%.
The car behind me, I feel like you got a special love for. I feel like there was a lot more on social media on your account the past week than I've ever seen of a car.
I wish someone would come and buy that car because it's really pissing me off. I haven't got
that's not on your personal name then?
Not yet.
This is still on the business.
Not yet. It's still a stock car. 410.
410.
Yeah.
It's
still a
the
stock
spec
car.
of this 488 piece. It's very
You'll never
good.
see another one like that.
Very good.
I've been after that. I've been wanting to own that car for 2.5 years.
Oh, you've been hunting
And
Pacific.
I bought it on Thursday night
Yep.
at 2:00 in the morning in a nightclub.
The new Friday, Thursday.
Yeah,
That's
Thursday.
It got you.
I was at an opening of a restaurant, and then we went out afterwards. Me and the guy who opened the restaurant, and he's been a customer of mine for years. Sold him a LaFerrari and sold him loads of. And he's got an insane amount of cars.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he had that car. And he said, I might sell my Pista Spider.
That's the crazy thing, especially with people in London. Like, I talk to them, I'm like, what have you got? And then they show me their phone.
And they'll just reel off.
No, it's
I'm
ridiculous.
like,
it's magical.
Where
It's
are
ridiculous.
you keeping them? And they're like in some odd garage
in a warehouse or something.
So he said, I want to sell my Pista Spider. So I didn't know you had a Pista Spider. Yeah.
Did you play it cool? Were you,
So let's have a look at it. And I was like, you bastard.
Or did you go,
When did you
that's
buy
an awful colour. I don't like the colour of the
I was like,
seats.
that's never going to sell.
Yeah.
You have to love what you're investing in.
Yeah.
Because then you'll see the best return.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got your showroom here.
So when I buy watches, I
only
only buy what I really like.
Yes, yeah.
And then, do you know what? I don't actually even sell them, which is a problem.
Yeah. See, this is where the car thing, you can detach it, can't you, with a car?
You're like,
you've been in it so long.
I've got a lot of equity in the watches just in case I need something.
Well, it's the better. I think having money in the bank is a dangerous place to have money.
Yes, in this day and age.
I think it's dangerous. I think if the recession in 2008 and the credit crunch, if that didn't teach you that what you insured for, 80,000,
£85,000 in a normal bank account, but if you invested like with the app that we're setting up, FINT actually, if you're in each portfolio, there is multiple ETFs. So if you've got 10 ETFs in one, that'll be 10 times 85,000, so 850,000 in that portfolio. And we have usually 20 different ETFs in each portfolio. So it's actually better and safer to be invested within the stock market through multiple ETFs than it is to sit with your bank.
Exactly. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
If I don't like keeping money in the bank.
No, bank
it's
is
good
But
because
I do suggest having a rainy day fund, guys, all the time. Just always bear that in mind.
Yeah, he's got multiple watches.
just buy a limited edition
Yours is your
Ferrari or a
watch.
Patek.
Yeah.
And I'll always cash you out of it. Don't worry about it.
What's the car in your stock right now? I know you said you're on lower on stock, but you're like, okay, if I held that for a year or two, you think personally that's a good investment.
And then what car do you want in your stock as well?
The P1 is the best investment in this showroom. That car is undervalued.
Yeah.
That car's undervalued by £1 million.
You don't have a Senna, do you?
We bought one this morning. I think you overheard the conversation. Yeah.
The Senna is one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
We were
Yeah.
outside
Yeah,
Lanzanti yesterday, and we're doing a press thing for the GR Sport Yaris, and pulled up in front of Lanzanti, and I was like just staring at the cars in there. Oh, you've gone it. They got in the window.
The guy, I went there recently. I know Dean Lanzanti, and they serviced the P1 for me.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yes,
and I done a YouTube video on it because that's like a sort of like no one knows what's behind the glass doors kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a really impressive place, really impressive. And
So your P1 here is your like, if somebody can, what's that on at the minute?
1.3.
Okay, so the first place.
Let me tell you the method in my madness here. Okay.
Yep.
So everything in life is about supply and demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's more demand than supply, it's a good investment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more supply than demand, it's not a good investment.
Yeah.
So there's two cars that you have to compare the P1 to, which was part of the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Which was the LaFerrari and the 918 Spider.
Yeah. Both amazing cars.
Both great cars. Chuck the P1 in there, so you got the 3. So let's talk about numbers. There's 918 918s.
Yeah.
There's
Hence the name, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's 500 LaFerraris and 210 LaFerrari Apertas.
Yep.
So there's 710. There's 375 P1s. Full stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you driven any of them?
No.
Okay. The P1 drives the best. The P1 drives the best. The LaFerrari looks the best. The P1 drives the best. I don't have a lot of love for a 918, if I'm totally honest with you.
My friend, when he's going to listen to this, he's a Porsche man. He loves it.
But
He's
you
gonna
get
be
them
going,
Porsche guys,
yeah.
and they take a bullet
Porsche
for a
people
car,
are.
Yeah.
and they know more about the car than Porsche themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That screw
They're
that screw doesn't
super
look the right
anal on
colour.
it. Yeah.
What are you doing with your head in there in the first place? You know? A Porsche client is a different breed.
Yeah.
Of
But you as a business person, then you just said that about the P1. Would you overvalue on your thing here and be like, okay, we're going to put an extra 100K on it because we know that it'd be worth that in a year's time? Or are you, again, as you said, you're a trader, let's shift.
That's the cheapest P1 in the country. It's done 1,400 miles compared to everyone else that's done double or triple the mileage.
Yeah, yeah.
What's that on a game for?
1.3.
1.3.
And that's the cheapest one in the country. You know, in blood, we are traders.
Yeah.
We are traders. I wish nothing less than if they bought the car for 1.3 and in 3 years it was 1.8, which it will be, by the way.
Yeah.
I guarantee it will be. Then it's going to be easier for me to buy back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because in another 5 years it'll be 2.3.
Yeah.
The trajectory is very clear.
I think those cars have a 10% a year rise.
Nice
Makes
rise.
sense. Yeah.
Guys, there's one here for sale, 1.3. Yeah.
Okay, I
can
want
see
to
it.
kind of wrap it up on a little bit of a family note. Like,
Wait, can I just ask one more thing? I want to say, what was one of the hardest cars you've ever sold? Just
What do you mean
intrigued.
hardest cars? Like
Okay, it's
the
taken
most
you the
unsaleable-
longest
oh, God.
to sell.
Spiker.
Ooh, why? Just
Just a piece of rubbish.
but do you know that when you're buying it? Are you like,
No,
okay,
well,
I'm gonna.
you kind of do, but
You've
you
got
know,
the Nissan upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, you know that's a very clear buyer that's going to buy that car.
yeah.
There's not that many of them around. Like, do you
I
know that's going to sit there for a while?
love that car. The R34. Nissan
Yeah,
GT
the R34, yeah.
Love
But-
it, to be fair.
You know that everybody's not going to buy that car at that price. Like, that's going to be, is that a headache for you? Or are you like, okay, it sits there?
You have to accommodate all types
Is
of
there a bigger
buyers.
buffer when you buy something like that, though?
Yeah,
you know it's
percentage wise,
gonna-
yeah, of course there is. The longer you have to tie money up for, the more profit you allow yourself to have against that.
And is that an internal calculation in your head? You're like, okay, I know I can shift this car at this price, but that car I need to make sure I buy it at a certain amount because it's going to sit a lot longer.
Exactly.
You work it out a monthly
Exactly.
sort of rate sort of thing in your head.
Not really, but you just use your gut and you think, you know, if we can try and get somewhere between 5 and 10% profit on a car,
Yeah.
then you know it's done its job. It's been a good deal.
So the P1 can sit there for another year. You're happy at the
The
minute.
P1 is non-negotiable. Like, it's non-negotiable.
And
if
that's
someone
just
wants
'cause
to,
you know
if
what it's
someone
gonna
wants to
do.
pay 1.3, it would be the best 1.3 they will spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, because next month it's going to be 1.35 and
Yeah.
then 1.4.
Well,
Yeah.
my answer is this: if I don't sell it for 1.3 soon, I'll sell it for 1.4 soon.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Good answer.
you know, so
I'm also thinking, you bugger.
the Spiker, for example, I've had 2 of them. Oh my God, what a piece of rubbish!
So you're not.
It
Gonna
wasn't a
buy
lot of money at the
another
time.
one.
I think I paid 110,000 for it, but off the top, I might have had 50% markup in it initially
Yeah.
because I thought whoever's going to buy one of these cars,
Yeah.
it's the only one for sale, and they're going to have to pay that.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to have to wait for that person to come because it might be ages.
Yeah.
And in the end, I didn't end up doing any good out of it at all, and sold it for pretty much what I paid for it, and I had it for 2 years.
But
and
you
it
were
was
happy just to get it gone.
God, it was awful. It was
Yeah,
awful.
that happens though, doesn't it? And like you said, you're selling so many cars, you always get the car which doesn't always work out the best.
Yeah,
for
but
you.
you've got to
It's
be
what it is.
diverse, and
Yeah.
you can see by our
Makes you
stock.
smile at all the other cars then.
Yeah, you can see by our stock that how diverse we are.
Yeah.
You know, from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Miura to the P1. To
If
Ford
somebody
GT.
says they win the lottery and say, okay, I want a 5-car garage, the thing is they can come to you and they can get a 5-car
Yeah,
garage.
yeah.
They don't just have to have the sports car or the SUV. Here, they get everything.
Oh, can I hear your three-car
Oh,
garage?
do you know
we'll
what?
go
I was
for?
gonna. You two have to answer the same question.
Okay,
though, as
sweet.
well.
I'll do it
I was
after
gonna
that.
ask that.
I know mine, definitely.
So money's no object,
No,
Money's
no
no
object.
object.
but you have to have these 3 cars for the next 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a family. So I have 3 kids and a wife. So I need a car that will carry.
Oh God, you need
Us
a,
3.
Yeah, you need a big car now.
Yeah. Buzz.
So I need a Cullinan.
Yes, just gonna
So
say that.
You need a Cullinan.
Black badge.
Don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
Cullinan. That's what I need. I then need some kind of a convertible car because you just need one, don't you?
Because we live in England and it always is sunny.
Oh, the weather's always great. So it's hard now. I'm going to go a LaFerrari Aperta.
Okay, that's a strong car.
That's a naughty car.
That is a strong car.
And then, I see, 3's really hard for me,
3 is
but I'm
hard.
going to try and stick to the rules. Then, I'm torn between a Pagani Zonda and a Bugatti Chiron. I'm torn.
I would personally go for the Pagani over the big.
But you can't jump in on his. That's his.
No,
3
I know.
car.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I'm in. Yeah.
But I mean, there's pros and cons. I've had both, so there's pros and cons to both of them. The Chiron, you could daily.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to go for a
But the
3
Pagani
car,
looks
then
way
The Pagani is
better.
more special.
Oh, it's
Pagani is so
You
special.
can't daily it.
no, but it's something. And to be fair,
And
out
you've
of
got
them
no
3
Apple
cars,
CarPlay.
Yeah.
Do you know what
The
I mean?
Ferrari can't really daily either too much. You are correct. You'd either be daily in your Cullinan then, which
So
is a pain.
the wife's daily in the Cullinan because she's got the kids and that.
So I don't have to worry about that. So I definitely want a
So
big
you got
4x4.
I'm allowed 4 cars.
Okay, you've got 4
Because
cars
You've
in
got a
there.
family, it's
So I'm having the
alright,
Pagani and the Chiron. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I would actually ironically also go for a Cullinan.
Yeah.
Because we drove them for 2 months. We got a standard one and a black badge. So good, so easy to drive. Just did everything, throw it in. I've got to go for a classic 300 SL Gullwing.
Yeah, good
Because
car.
for me that's my dream, and when I get that car,
I heard
like
you love
that's
that car.
I love
that's perfect. That's perfection.
Can I have 5 cars? Or
Because you didn't go for
This
classic.
is the problem. When
Yeah.
you're
And
a
then-
car
It
fanatic,
is,
it's
yeah.
hard.
Something that is more track focused and really kind of I would want to go Ferrari, but I don't know if to go something lighter, like Thomas, like behind me, the 488 Pista, like that sort of
Would you not go for a
style.
black series? I thought you'd go for.
No, because I've only got 3 cars here.
Did you say 812 Competizione?
I was going to say the 812 Comp Aperta.
thought that was
seeing
one
that.
Yeah.
do you do track days?
Yeah, we like track days.
You like track days?
Yeah,
I
love
find them
racing.
stressful, you know.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, but have you done a track day in your own car?
No.
No,
That's
somebody else's
why
car.
That's
why I love it.
Stressful.
Because it's insured and everything, not with us.
Yeah, I
just
would love that.
I look at the cost of if I bin it, and usually it's quite low.
Because you take insurance out, like 500 quid or something.
But or if we go with brands, it's like if I
Yeah,
crash
yeah.
the brand new 296, I think it was like 1,500 quid. Or Rolls Royce was the randomly like even driving around London, it was like, so how much do I have to pay if I bin it? It's like $1,000. I was
Let's
like,
not
this-
say too much on Mike, AJ. They won't give us any. They won't
No,
let
but
us
you
do
know
it
what, you know what I
anymore.
mean. Like
Well, it's worth kind of bidding it just for the experience.
what? Losing all respect. But yeah, no, I think I've never driven actually a Pista, but a 488 Pista. The style of it, the angle, the aerodynamics, and knowing that it's that light car. But I do know that they've got a life of their own, and
They're a great car.
Yeah.
They're a great car. Pista's a great car, and it cemented itself now as an investment.
Yes.
So they've been up, they've been down, they've been up. They're stable, and I feel like they're only because Ferrari are going this hybrid.
that was a question I was going to
296
ask you.
GTB, it's fantastic though. It's a cracking car.
It's ugly though.
Agreed, it does.
It doesn't do
is.
well in the market, you know.
No, but it
at all.
drives phenomenal.
Great car, drives
Phenomenal.
great, looks awful.
Yeah.
Business
agreed.
thing. Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari investment. Their stock went up 10 billion overnight.
Yes.
Did you think we need to put $5,000 on every Ferrari overnight?
Do you know what? In the olden days, but back in the day,
Branding these days.
when if McLaren does well in F1, for instance,
Yeah.
McLaren sell faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fact.
Aston Martin last year when we were with
when
them at
McLaren
Goodwood,
starts setting on fire during every F1 race, it's not good for the brand.
the phone's not picked up as quick.
Because it
Same
happens
same
to
with
the standard
Ferrari.
cars anyway.
Ferrari went through a stint a couple of years ago where the cars just
Where
wasn't
the
reliable.
engine just
Yeah.
out.
Just wasn't reliable. So it does work. I think that
Well, now
is-
they've got the 7-year warranty and they're putting things
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
place that mean like,
Exactly.
oh, okay. It's
I think that's a great move for Hamilton, because Hamilton, I don't think he's appreciated enough for what he's achieved in this country.
Yep.
Because he's quite a diverse character, isn't he?
in every aspect.
Some people love him, some people hate him as
But
well.
you should, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
But you should love him because
Yeah.
he's the most successful Formula One driver in the history of the
I'm
world.
going to say 7.5-time world champion.
Yeah,
He's an 8-time
yeah.
world champion in my heart.
Well, I agree. But you get a lot of people go, I don't like Lewis Hamilton. They don't like him because of his personal views on things and the way he conducts himself in certain
yeah.
positions. But what moving to Ferrari has done, that has wiped out the 50% who don't really like him, because everyone likes Ferrari.
Plus,
everyone likes Ferrari.
It secured him. That move has secured him in history. We haven't even done this season yet.
Financially forever.
And I'm somebody who I don't like to waste money. I refuse to waste money. I will buy a red T-shirt with Lewis Hamilton on.
Yeah.
And I'm the person who doesn't spend a penny.
To be fair, that merch
When I turn up to an F1, although I should because he's British, I don't really want Lewis Hamilton to win. I've got loads of drivers that I prefer than Lewis Hamilton.
Come on, Lando.
But you have to respect he's
can't deny it.
He's an incredible talent. He's achieved so much, and he should get more praise than what he gets. And I'm a hypocrite because I'm saying he should get more praise, and I don't give it to him. When he retires, you will. But now he's transitioned over to Ferrari, or going to. I'll love Lewis Hamilton. I will want Lewis Hamilton to win every race because I want
And that
Ferrari
shows
to win
how
every
brand
race.
value takes over more than anything. Even yourself here, Hot. The brand value is so strong.
So strong. And it helps to sell cars for you here as well.
Who's your favourite F1 driver?
I do like Lewis.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I do also enjoy Lando when he's on form.
yeah. He's got a good personality, Lando has.
Yeah, he's actually one of the guys that I've never actually met face to face. Lando.
Yeah, I've
I
met him.
don't
He's a nice
have
guy.
I would like to meet him. I would like to,
favourite.
even like he seems funny when he plays golf, like in
I'd love to
Guildford
meet
way. and
Lando.
that.
I think Lando is a fantastic driver and he has the capability to be able to win a championship. He just needs the correct car. I think Lewis Hamilton, I want him to win one more, then retire, then he's done. And I think Max Verstappen is a fantastic driver. Even though his car is unbelievable and it is keeping him up there, he is still a fantastic driver.
And who's your favourite F1 driver?
I don't really have one. I can't say it.
Well, who do you want to win the Saudi Grand Prix?
I want Lando Norris to win
Okay,
because
so-
Max Verstappen's won too many times and Lewis
I
Hamilton
don't
is not
think.
in the right position to win
I
for
think
him.
Lando is an extremely good driver. My favourite F1 driver is Fernando Alonso.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Has been for years and is. And by the way,
He's so clever.
put him in the right car.
yeah.
And he's arguably still the best.
He's so clever
Plus
as well.
his experience and understanding other drivers and the use of track and that. 'Cause sometimes people are quick, but when you stick with multiple drivers in a strategical setting,
Well, yeah, you can be quick
they
for one lap, but when you've
miss
got
out.
58 laps,
Yeah.
you're not going to set the record on every lap. You know, you just need to
you got
consistent.
to manage your car,
Unless you're
manage
Max
your tyres.
Verstappen.
Yeah. I mean, Max. One thing I'd say about Lando, I think Lando's got great potential. I think he's a great driver. I don't think he's got that selfish killer instinct that a world champion has to have.
I would want to.
can see you there. I feel you and I understand
Like
what
Max
you're saying.
Verstappen comes across as an asshole,
Yeah,
but he's a winner.
Yeah.
That guy wins.
So you can
Yeah?
say,
in a
And
sad
I like that.
in a sad scenario about what you can say within business here, I feel like somebody needs to crash into Lando to give him what
He's
the-
everyone. I guarantee every
Annoy
driver on
him
the grid
and then
loves
go.
Nando. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
But that's not good when it comes down to the
No, you've got to have the-
head to head.
You've got to have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
Michael Schumacher had it. Michael Schumacher didn't have friends on the grid. Lewis Hamilton didn't have friends on the
yeah.
grid.
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso didn't have friends on the grid. None of these people had friends because you're his enemy.
Remember that time
Yeah.
when somebody
Daniel
crashed into
Ricciardo
Max
did,
and he
and he
came
went
off and he
down.
literally nearly put the other guy through the wall.
Yeah.
like
who was
that
that? Yeah,
killer
yeah,
instinct.
that was he drove. He
Alpine.
Yeah, that's right.
Ocon was it?
Yes,
It was
Ocon,
Ocon,
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was like that frustration has to be there when you're being competitive.
Can you
if
remember
you don't
when,
have that.
Can you remember when Lewis and Massa were head-to-head in the championship? And they literally nearly had a fight after every race.
Oh, yeah. But that's what you want. And the F1 needs that.
I feel like someone would beat Lando and Lando would go up and go, "Oh, great job, man."
Yeah. I want Lando to sucker punch somebody.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy. He's just really nice.
And a nice guy never gets it.
And Daniel Ricciardo's the same. He's not got that.
And this is why I think he lost it a little bit, to be fair, because he was this fun, lovable,
he smiles
everything.
a lot. He's very marketable, but at the end of the day, people want to market. People want to market winners.
Yeah, he made some bad
when
decisions.
When you're on the podium, they don't want you to be the nicest person in the world. You just want to. They want you to wear your brand on P1.
Yeah, that's
what
win
they want
constructors, win personally. You win, you get the deal anyway.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. That was Freedom Impact Trust. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've loved chatting once again. Please leave a comment below because it really helps the algorithm and helps get the podcast out there. And also, let us know if there's any financial questions which you want answering, and we can answer them in the pod next week. Like I said, share, like, comment, subscribe, and let everybody know about the podcast.
And thank you to our sponsors, FINT, the financial investment app, where you can invest from as little as £50 a month.
£50?
Yes, £50, Kurs.
Oh, wow, it's an absolute bargain. And don't forget, it's through 3 different portfolios. So choose the one that you like and get investing.
Have a great day.
See you later, guys.